In the chaos of our daily lives, it's easy to feel like we're drowning in a sea of stress, responsibilities, and uncertainty. The constant pressures of work, relationships, financial struggles, and unexpected challenges can make us feel lost. But here's the truth. You can stand firm, unshaken and serene in the middle of it all. This isn't just an inspirational idea, it's the very essence of Stoicism, a philosophy that has stood the test of time for over 2,000 years. From Roman emperors like Marcus Aurelius to enslaved philosophers like Epictetus, Stoicism has been a guiding light for people from all walks of life. And today, it's more relevant than ever. In this series, we're diving into 10 timeless Stoic principles, practical tools you can use daily to build resilience, emotional control, and inner peace. These are not abstract theories. They're living wisdom, battle-tested through history, and powerful enough to transform the way you navigate life. 1. Finding a firm purpose, your anchor in the storm. Imagine setting sail on a vast ocean without a compass or destination. The waves toss you around, the winds dictate your path, and you drift aimlessly. That's what life feels like when you don't have a firm purpose. You become vulnerable to external forces, pulled in every direction by circumstances, opinions, and emotions. Epictetus, one of the great Stoic teachers, once said, "Difficulties show a person's character. The greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it." A firm purpose is not just about career goals or material achievements. It's deeper. It's about your values, your principles, and the type of person you aspire to be. It's about asking yourself, what do I stand for? What matters most to me? What kind of legacy do I want to leave behind? When you have this clarity, challenges no longer look like mountains, they look like stepping stones. Every hardship becomes part of the journey, shaping and strengthening your character. Practical application. Take a journal and write down the values that matter to you. Honesty, kindness, discipline, courage, faith, or resilience. Reflect on whether your daily actions align with these values. Create a personal compass. Statement, a short phrase that reminds you of your purpose. Example, I strive to live with courage and compassion, no matter the circumstance. This compass will act as your guiding light when life gets chaotic. 2. Guarding your mind, mastering your emotional world. One of the most powerful lessons in Stoicism is this. Our emotions are the result of our thoughts and interpretations, not external events themselves. Think about it. When someone insults you, is it their words that cause you pain? Or is it the meaning you attach to those words? Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. This truth is liberating because it means you hold the power. Guarding your mind doesn't mean suppressing emotions. It means understanding them deeply and choosing responses that align with your purpose and values. Every time you resist the urge to react impulsively, you build mental strength. Like a muscle, self-control grows with practice. Techniques for guarding your mind. 1. Mindfulness practice. Spend 5 to 10 minutes each day observing your thoughts. Notice how quickly your mind reacts to events. By simply watching, you create a gap between stimulus and response. In that gap lies your freedom. 2. Mental boundaries, just as you wouldn't invite toxic strangers into your home. Don't let toxic thoughts, people, or media into your mind. Be selective about what you consume. Choose uplifting conversations, meaningful books, and positive environments. 3. Small wins. Set small daily goals. Each accomplishment, no matter how small, reinforces your belief in your ability to control your life. This builds discipline and inner confidence. Story example. Think of a dedicated baker. Every day they focus on perfecting their craft, not for applause or validation, but for the love of the work itself. They aren't swayed by excessive praise or harsh criticism. Their focus on their purpose protects their peace. Similarly, when you guard your mind, you free yourself from being controlled by external voices. 3. Handling criticism. Building thick skin without losing heart. Criticism is part of life, whether at work, in relationships, or even online. People will always have opinions about you, and sometimes those opinions can sting. But here's where Stoicism shines. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king of Rome, reminded himself daily that he would encounter meddling, ungrateful, arrogant, deceitful, envious, and unsociable people. Yet he also reminded himself that these people act as they do because they don't know better. The Stoic lesson: you can't control others' words, but you can control your reaction. Practical Stoic responses to criticism. 1. Pause and reflect. Instead of reacting defensively, take a breath. Ask yourself, is there truth here? Can I learn something? If yes, use it as fuel for growth. If no, let it go. 2. Detach from ego. Often, criticism hurts not because of the words themselves, but because they bruise our pride. When you understand that your worth is rooted in your values, not in others' opinions, criticism loses its power. 3. Patience and gentleness. Responding with calmness rather than hostility disarms negativity. It maintains your inner peace and sets an example for others. Example: imagine you've been working hard on a project, and a colleague criticizes it harshly. Instead of lashing out, you calmly ask, "What part do you think I could improve?" This shows maturity, and often it softens even the harshest critic. If their words are baseless, your calm response still protects your peace. The Stoics teach us that criticism is not a verdict on our worth, it's feedback, perspective, or sometimes just noise. We get to decide what weight to give it, bringing it together, the foundation of Stoic strength. 4. Transforming offense. Choosing freedom over anger. When someone insults us, disrespects us, or treats us unfairly, the natural response is to feel hurt or angry. But the Stoics remind us of something profound. It's not the offense itself that hurts us, it's our interpretation of it. Epictetus taught, men are disturbed not by things, but by the views which they take of them. This means the power lies in how we choose to respond. If we internalize the offense, we give away our peace. If we reframe it, we gain strength. Practical Stoic approach to offense. 1. Pause and create space. When you feel the surge of anger, pause. Remember, between the insult and your reaction, there's a moment of choice. That pause is your power. 2. Reframe the situation. Instead of asking, why did they hurt me? Ask, what can I learn here? Maybe the offense tests your patience. Maybe it's an opportunity to practice forgiveness. 3. See the humanity in others. The Stoics urged empathy. When someone offends you, consider what pain or ignorance might be driving their behavior. Often, offense says more about the offender than about you. Example: a friend criticizes your lifestyle choices. At first you feel offended, but instead of reacting defensively, you reframe. This is their perspective. Do they raise a valid point I should reflect on? Or is this an opportunity to reaffirm my own values? Either way, you grow without losing your peace. Key Stoic practice. Forgiveness. Holding on to offense is like drinking poison and expecting the other person to suffer. By forgiving, you release yourself from chains of resentment. Forgiveness doesn't excuse bad behavior, it frees you. 5. Overcoming fear and shame. Facing the inner shadows. Two emotions often dominate our lives more than we realize: fear and shame. Fear holds us back from pursuing what matters. Shame convinces us we are unworthy of happiness or success. Left unchecked, they can paralyze us. But the Stoics remind us, fear and shame don't come from events themselves. They come from the meanings we attach to them. Epictetus said, "What frightens and dismays us is not the external events themselves, but the way we think about them." Facing fear. Fear thrives in the unknown. It exaggerates possible outcomes and weakens our courage. The Stoic solution? Face fear directly and break it down. Example: you fear public speaking. Instead of avoiding it, examine the fear. What exactly scares you? Is it making mistakes? Is it being judged? When you shine the light of reason, the fear loses its hold. You realize everyone stumbles. Audiences aren't as harsh as your mind imagines, and even mistakes can be moments of connection. With practice, exposure, and preparation, fear becomes manageable and eventually a source of confidence. Confronting shame. Shame is even trickier. It whispers that we are flawed, broken, or less than. Often, shame comes from society's expectations or from past mistakes we haven't forgiven ourselves for. The Stoics urge us to see mistakes as teachers, not life sentences. Reflect honestly. What can I learn from this? Accept imperfection. To be human is to stumble. Forgive yourself. Self-forgiveness is not weakness, it's strength. Marcus Aurelius wrote in his Meditations, "If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. But if you stumble, get back up with grace and continue forward." Shame loses its power when we accept ourselves fully, flaws and all, and commit to growth rather than self-condemnation. Practical tools. Write down your biggest fears and shame triggers. Examine them rationally. Ask, what's the worst that could happen? Could I survive it? Could I grow from it? Practice gradual exposure to fear. Take small steps. Speak in front of a small group before a large one. Share a small, vulnerable truth before a bigger one. Practice self-forgiveness through journaling. Write yourself a letter of compassion as you would to a dear friend. 6. Anticipating obstacles. The Stoic superpower. Life rarely goes according to plan. We want smooth paths, but storms inevitably come. The Stoics prepared themselves with a practice called premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. This doesn't mean being pessimistic. It means preparing your mind for challenges so you're not caught off guard. Seneca wrote, "The man who has anticipated the coming of troubles takes away their power when they arrive." How to practice premeditatio malorum. Visualize potential challenges. Before a big day, imagine possible obstacles, delays, rejections, mistakes. Rehearse your response. Picture yourself staying calm, patient, and resourceful when those challenges arise. Balance it with strength. Remind yourself of the skills, wisdom, and support you already have to face difficulties. Example: you have an important job interview. Instead of only visualizing success, you also anticipate. The interviewer might be harsh. You might stumble on a question. There might be technical issues. By imagining these beforehand, you prepare calm responses. If they happen, you're not shaken, you're ready. This practice builds flexibility, adaptability, and resilience. It reminds you, while you can't control events, you can always control your response, bringing it together, turning adversity into strength. These principles shift your mindset from victimhood to empowerment. No longer are you at the mercy of offenses, fears, or surprises. Instead, you stand firm, knowing that every difficulty is an opportunity to strengthen your character. As Epictetus said, the greater the difficulty, the more glory in surmounting it. Self-restraint is not about deprivation, it's about mastering your impulses so they serve you, rather than enslave you. 9. Cultivating true acceptance, the power of amor fati. Perhaps the deepest Stoic teaching is amor fati, the love of fate. It means not just accepting what happens, but embracing it as necessary and good for your growth. Marcus Aurelius advised, "A blazing fire makes flame and brightness out of everything that is thrown into it." Think of life as a fire. Every event, joy, sorrow, success, failure, is fuel. You can either complain about the fuel, or you can burn brightly because of it. Why acceptance is powerful. Resistance drains energy. Wishing life were different doesn't change reality. It only adds suffering. But when you practice acceptance, you align with reality instead of fighting it. From that calm alignment, you can act wisely. How to practice amor fati. 1. Daily affirmation. Begin each day by saying, "Whatever happens today, I will meet it with courage, patience, and acceptance." 2. Reframe misfortune. When something goes wrong, ask, "How might this serve me? What lesson, strength, or opportunity does this contain?" 3. Gratitude in all things. Practice gratitude, not just for blessings, but also for hardships, knowing they shape you. Example: you lose a job unexpectedly. Instead of spiraling into despair, you practice amor fati. You say, "This is not the end, it's a redirection. Perhaps this opens a path to something better aligned with my values." With that mindset, you search, learn, and eventually discover a career more fulfilling. Acceptance doesn't mean passivity. It means facing reality fully without denial, without resentment, and then taking wise, courageous action, bringing it together, living with mastery. With these practices, you stop being tossed around by external circumstances. Instead, you stand steady, grounded, and purposeful. You become the blazing fire Marcus Aurelius spoke of, turning everything into light. As Seneca said, A gem cannot be polished without friction, nor a man perfected without trials. Your trials are polishing you. Your hardships are shaping you. Every difficulty is a step toward wisdom, strength, and freedom. We've walked through Stoicism's timeless wisdom, discovering how to anchor ourselves with firm purpose, how to guard the mind from negativity, how to master offense, fear, and obstacles, and how to restrain our impulses with wisdom and patience. Now we bring it all together. Philosophy only becomes powerful when it's lived. And so, in this final section, let's explore how you can weave Stoicism into your daily routine, relationships, and modern life so that it becomes not just a philosophy you admire, but a way of life you embody. 1. Morning and evening rituals. The Stoics believe that discipline in thought begins with discipline in routine. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher king, started each day with reflection. In his meditations, he reminded himself that he would encounter selfish, jealous, or unkind people, but that it was within his control to remain virtuous. You too can begin each morning with a short Stoic ritual. As you wake, ask yourself, what kind of person do I wish to be today? Write down one intention: patience, courage, honesty, or resilience. This sets the tone for your actions. In the evening, practice reflection again. Epictetus advised us to examine our day. Ask yourself, did I live according to my purpose? Did I let anger or fear control me? Where did I grow stronger? This practice turns each day into a classroom and every mistake into a lesson. Over time, it builds powerful self-awareness and steady progress. 2. Living with simplicity. In today's world, we are bombarded with noise, notifications, advertisements, endless comparisons on social media. It is easy to feel restless, as though happiness lies in the next purchase, the next achievement, or the next validation from others. Stoicism offers an antidote: simplicity. Seneca warned us that wealth and possessions often own us more than we own them. He taught that true wealth lies in needing little. Living simply does not mean giving up comfort. It means choosing intentionally. Ask yourself, do I really need this, or am I seeking approval? Will this object, this habit, or this pursuit make me more virtuous, or simply distract me? By simplifying your lifestyle, decluttering, limiting distractions, focusing on essentials, you free mental space for what truly matters: wisdom, virtue, and authentic connection. 3. Stoicism in relationships. Love, friendship, and family are central parts of our lives, yet they are also where emotions often run strongest. The Stoics teach us to approach relationships with empathy, patience, and understanding. When someone disappoints you, remember Marcus Aurelius' words. When you wake up in the morning, tell yourself, today you will meet ungrateful, arrogant, dishonest, jealous, and surly people. This isn't pessimism, it's preparation. If you expect imperfection, you will not be shocked when it appears. Instead of seeking to control others, focus on what you can give: kindness, fairness, and integrity. If conflict arises, pause before reacting. Ask yourself, will my words heal or will they wound? By practicing restraint and compassion, you strengthen relationships rather than eroding them. And when it comes to love, Stoicism reminds us that attachment should not turn into possession. Love fully, But remember that every relationship is part of the natural cycle of life. Treasure your loved ones deeply, but hold them lightly, with gratitude instead of fear of loss. 4. Stoicism at work. Work today can feel overwhelming deadlines, pressure, difficult colleagues, or fear of failure. But Stoicism equips you with tools to thrive in these environments. First, embrace the idea of focusing on effort, not outcome. Epictetus said, "Make the best use of what is in your power, and take the rest as it happens." You cannot control the market, the boss's mood, or the economy. You can only control your preparation, your discipline, and your attitude. By focusing on what lies within your control, you avoid unnecessary anxiety and maintain your professionalism. Second, use setbacks as opportunities. A failed project is not the end, but a lesson. Seneca wrote, "Difficulties strengthen the mind as labor strengthens the body." Every professional obstacle is a chance to build patience, resilience, and creativity. Finally, remember the Stoic principle of justice. Act fairly and honorably at work, even when others don't. Your integrity is a compass more valuable than any career advancement gained through dishonesty. 5. Technology and the Stoic mind. One challenge the Stoics never faced, but that we must address, is the digital storm of modern life. Social media thrives on triggering envy, anger, and distraction, the very emotions Stoicism warns us against. Guard your mind by setting boundaries. Limit mindless scrolling. Be intentional about what you consume. Ask, does this content uplift me or does it disturb my peace? Just as you wouldn't eat spoiled food, don't feed your mind with toxic information. Replace endless digital distraction with mindful practices. Read books that expand your understanding. Spend time in silence. Journal your thoughts. Go for a walk without headphones and listen to the rhythm of nature. In these small acts, you reclaim sovereignty over your attention. 6. Gratitude and presence. At the heart of Stoicism lies the practice of gratitude. Marcus Aurelius, despite being emperor, constantly reminded himself to be grateful for life's simplest gifts: the sunrise, friendship, learning, even challenges that sharpened his character. In your own life, pause each day to note 3 things you are grateful for. Gratitude shifts your focus from scarcity to abundance. It teaches you that happiness is not found in controlling the future, but in appreciating the present moment. Presence is the twin of gratitude. We often dwell on past regrets or future worries, but Epictetus reminds us we suffer more often in imagination than in reality. To live stoically is to live here now, fully engaged with the task at hand. 7. Living according to nature. Finally, the Stoics spoke often of living according to nature. This means living authentically, aligning your life with virtue, reason, and your place in the larger whole. In practice, this means accepting the cycles of life, the seasons, aging, change, and even death. Instead of resisting these realities, embrace them as part of the natural order. Living according to nature also means recognizing our responsibility to each other and to the world. Care for your community. Respect the environment. Act with fairness and justice. By living in harmony with nature, you not only cultivate inner peace, but also contribute to a more balanced and compassionate world. 8. the journey forward. As we conclude, remember this: Stoicism is not about suppressing emotions or becoming detached from life. It is about embracing life fully, with courage and clarity, while refusing to be enslaved by passions, fears, or circumstances beyond your control. Each principle you've learned firm purpose, guarding your mind, handling criticism, transforming offense, overcoming fear, anticipating obstacles, cultivating inner strength, practicing restraint, acceptance, gratitude, and living according to nature is not just knowledge. It is a tool, and like any tool, its power lies in daily use. So tomorrow morning, when challenges appear, when someone offends you and fear whispers in your ear, remember, you have a choice. You can react as a victim, or you can respond as a Stoic with calm, resilience, and wisdom. The storms of life will never cease. But with Stoicism, you can learn not just to endure them, but to navigate them with strength and serenity. Stay strong, stay grounded, and let your life be the living proof of Stoic wisdom in action.